what exactly is an appraisal gap? Let's talk about it. So an appraisal gap is one of the more widely requested topics, and that's because, well, it's one of the most useful tools that you can use to get your offer accepted. But with that comes some downsides, and we'll talk about all those. So let's first talk about an appraisal and what an appraisal is. So essentially, when a house goes under contract, a lender sends in an appraiser to figure out what the home is actually worth so that they know that their money is being safely invested. So an appraiser goes out, looks around the house, and determines what the market value of the house is. And after they get a number, they send that number to the lender, and the lender will only fund the buyer for the amount that it appraised for. How does that affect you guys? And how can you use the appraisal gap to get your offer accepted? Well, basically, if you really like a home that is worth $500,000 and the appraiser goes in, checks it out, and says that it's only worth $475,000. Well, since it only appraised at $475,000, you can be like, hey, to the seller, we thought that it was worth $500,000. That's why we put a $500,000 offer. So then negotiations reopen up, and maybe you'll only end up having to pay $475,000. Maybe you'll split the difference. That will be negotiated. But that would be pretty sweet if you were able to get $25,000 off what you originally were willing to pay. Instead, if you were willing to waive the appraisal gap, what you're saying is, before the house gets appraised, you're saying, no matter what the house gets appraised for, I'm willing to pay $500,000. That's a really important thing for the seller to hear, that you're guaranteeing them $500,000 no matter what. See, the problems come when it does appraise lower than you want it to. Let's say it appraises at $400,000, but you guaranteed that you're paying $500,000. That's a huge problem for you because you have to come up with that $100,000 gap out of pocket. And that $100,000 out of pocket can't be paid for using your money down that you've been saving. It has to come from an alternative money source, because if you take all of your money down and you put it towards the appraisal gap, then you have none down to show to your lender, and then your financing will fall through. So you can see that this is a really risky thing, something that I typically would not recommend. But for certain people who maybe have extra money on hand and really like the house that they want and they want to be super competitive, they may waive that appraisal. That's something that we can see happening fairly frequently in the market condition right now. I mean, just the other week I had clients saying, put in an offer and the property had 9 offers in one day. So when those really highly competitive situations come out, the offers that get accepted in those situations are the ones that are willing to waive the appraisal gap and really go above and beyond. That is about it for today, though. Thank you guys for watching. This is a really important topic for a buyer or seller. Hopefully you guys found it interesting, and let me know if you have any more questions about it. Feel free to reach out, email, or call me. I try to get back to everyone as soon as possible. So yeah, thank you. Have a great day.